It's not easy heading the studio that makes films for some of the most famous superheroes in the world, especially if you mess up as badly as James Gunn did, or so we think. Well, there's no hiding the changes that DC Studios is going through, and ever since Gunn became CEO, things have started to go downhill more than they already were. But what hurts even more is how, when he first wore the cap, people started to see him as the guy who could save the DCEU, and that he still might, but by completely killing off everything that already existed seems a little too ambitious. Yep, everything is gone. Well, at least it seems that way. Plus, how on earth do you justify taking away the Superman suit from Henry Cavill? And remember Black Adam? Yeah, the one that just came out a few months ago? That's probably scratched as well. Brutal. But is it necessary? Not much can be said till we hear what's going on inside James's head. But it doesn't stop there. Fans have constantly been accusing the new DC Studios CEO. Well, it's not very clear as of yet. With whatever information that we have at the moment, it seems like James's clean sweep plan doesn't affect the entire actor pool for DC. Fans have even stated that this could be a move to remove all signs of the Snyderverse. But to do that, he'd also have to get rid of Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn and John Cena's Pacemaker, both of which are still here. And it doesn't become more obvious than this that neither of them has been sacked since James's connection to the DC is established through them. Here's the million-dollar question though, can we trust this guy? And does James have it in him to push the DCEU to its absolute potential?
Do what you have to do, General.
Well, he's done quite a bit for the superhero genre. There's not even an ounce of doubt about it. And as long as you don't completely hate superhero movies, you'd have to agree that the Guardians series was some of the best fictional work to come out of the genre. Oh, and talking about the Guardians, how about how James completely switched studios to make it big on the other side of the table? Not like he needed to do it. I'm sure if he stuck around a bit longer with Marvel, he'd be given more projects of the Guardians 3 wrapped. But what do we know? All I can say though is that the guy knows how to establish and create iconic characters on the screen. Plus, he's got the experience and expertise to create a connected universe, like in the Guardians and MCU overall. So that's definitely coming in handy.
Oh, yeah.
Unless we're again looking at standalone movies like the 2022 Batman, which I really hope this isn't.
I asked you to bring him in the light, and you did. We're such a good team. We're not a team.
And hey, if you're running short on ideas, why don't I give you some more, James? For instance, how good would the Plastic Man look on screen? Marvel's got their Mr. Fantastic, and while they've had a bunch of iterations for the character, none of them stuck to the screen as they'd hoped for. The only one that really took away the spotlight was the fan-cast John Krasinski in the latest Doctor Strange movie.
And the smartest man alive, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
Hello, Stephen.
But even those moments of glory were short-lived. As Wanda turned him into literal spaghetti. But that's not the point. The point is, even though the character's been a failure for Marvel, there's nothing stopping DC from adopting a similar character who possesses similar superpowers. Plus, he's known for his comedic personality and is often portrayed as a loyal friend and dependable ally to other heroes in the DC universe, all of which the DCEU is desperately in need of at the moment. Well, so am I, but who cares about that? Haha, I'm only joking. Plastic Man is also a fan of pranks and stuff, and if played right.
And when John Paul Jones and Ringo ran out of tea in Boston, did that stop them from throwing their party? Well, of course not.
The character could bring that humor element that's been missing from the DCU for years. On the other hand, some other characters should also be revamped for the new, let's call it the James slate. Nightwing, for instance, needs a big screen treatment already. DCU's biggest mistake was to let such high-tier characters be used in TV shows instead of movies. And you know what has happened as a result? Marvel's still introducing new characters with each film they release, while DC isn't even sure what their future looks like.
We gotta get out of here, now!
So while we're at it, let's just get rid of the TV versions of these characters and redo them for the movies. Pretty please? And I'll ask you to take care of Nightwing before anyone else. Why, you ask? That's because Nightwing possesses many of the same skills as Batman, such as hand-to-hand combat, detective work, and technology expertise. However, he has a more optimistic and outgoing personality than his mentor. And can you really have enough of Batman? Never. But despite all of this, some fans like Reddit user Nkantu hope that his character arc as Robin will be explored first. And that's a fair point. Robin could definitely prove to be the anchor that DC, especially the younger and newer superheroes, need. And if that's not your cup of tea, why not introduce a hero like none other yet? Yes, I'm talking about Booster Gold. No, that's not the name of an energy drink, but a real superhero.
Today, I'm going for the gold. You get it?
Booster Gold.
How is he unique, though? Apart from having a name that sounds like an energy drink, he's from the 25th century. And not just that, Booster Gold started off as a glory-seeking guy, but eventually evolved into a more heroic figure. He uses advanced technology from his own time to fight crime and becomes a member of the Justice League of America. He is known for being boastful, cocky, and egotistical, but also as a good-hearted, well-meaning, and ultimately brave hero who is willing to make sacrifices for the greater good. That means he's got a good balance, unlike the cinematic universe he could be a part of. Oftentimes, he's compared to Deadpool, but a version of him that's cleaner. There's no doubt that this guy is too good to be missed, and given the state of DC at the moment, there couldn't be a better time to introduce him. On the contrary, if our guy is too clean for you, I have something for you too. Enter Swamp Thing, and not literal. Here's my question: why does DC like to ruin such iconic characters by turning them into low-quality TV shows? The Swamp Thing is originally a scientist named Alec Holland who, after being engulfed in a monstrous explosion of lab chemicals, is transformed into a monster made of vegetable matter.
Memories held by the trees.
Having such a close relation with nature, the Swamp Thing can literally sense the disturbances in the natural order of the Earth. Pretty cool, right? And lucky for us, as hideous as you may find him, at the end of the day, he's on the good side, so you'll grow on to love him. DC, please just stop making shows on him and launch him with the main universe already, please. But while we're on the subject of a complete reboot, why not do something completely unexpected? No, really, why not just do Justice League Dark instead of the expected vanilla Justice League? The team typically includes characters who possess supernatural powers or abilities and are not as well known or mainstream as the traditional members of the Justice League. The team first appeared in the comic book series of the same name in 2011, written by Peter Milligan and illustrated by Mikel Janin. The core members of the team include John Constantine, Deadman, Zatanna, and Madame Xanadu. It's also a great way to launch Swamp Thing, who, by the way, is part of this group. Seems like a great idea to me. After all, the studio was looking to do something similar with Black Adam too, wasn't it? So now you know why there's a need for a fresh start, plus a bunch of characters that could help with that. See you in the next video.